5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
What the fuck's going on here?
Podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
What broke him down? Was it just the body punches? I was hitting him with body punches. I heard him actually, he was crying in there. You were saying that Biggs was crying when you hit him? Yes. When did that happen? And perhaps the fourth round on.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
So that you knew you had him by that time.
Absolutely, but I knew he was tough and taking those punches.
Quality Beyonce Productions.
Making women's justice like,
Let's go, champ.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another spontaneous edition of the Boxing Voice Radio. Hashtag TBV podcast. This is TBV in the morning. I am your host, Nestor Gibbs, and I'm back with another one, and it's quite interesting. Oscar De La Hoya fires back at Earl Spence Jr. after some words in the media back and forth, right? Oscar simply just wants to promote the young Earl Spence, and Earl just simply wants to remain a free agent. But Oscar had some choice words that we will be discussing a little bit later on today. So yeah, man, if this is what you're interested in, if this is something that you want to talk about, definitely head on over to youtube.com/ThaBoxingVoice and be part of this, discussion for sure. So once again, Oscar De La Hoya is the promoter of Golden Boy Promotions. He himself was a champion in his own right. And he himself was the welterweight cash cow, so to speak. So he feels, for whatever reason, that he would be able to make the young Earl Spence into a pay-per-view star. Again, this is what we're here to discuss. We've been here before with Oscar De La Hoya and his attempts at signing some of these Al Heyman stars, and his reasoning that every fighter needs a promoter. He uses himself as the example to show where and how far he's come due to, being promoted by Bob Arum. So Oscar De La Hoya, obviously the founder of Golden Boy Promotions, had a lot of interest in Earl Spence's Saturday night performance. And, he stated that he feels that Earl really didn't have a promoter, and Showtime wasn't promoting him the way that a traditional promoter would do. Now, Earl Spence Jr. has received several offers, which has been reported by numerous media outlets, and he's essentially said no to all of them. He's not interested in signing with Eddie Hearn, who as well reached out for DAZN and Matchroom USA. Top Rank Bob Arum reached out, and obviously Oscar De La Hoya reached out. But Spence prefers to remain a free agent. Is that the right thing for Earl Spence? Can he get to, pay-per-view status without a promoter? Can he get to Canelo Alvarez, Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, Miguel Cotto? Can he get to that status? Can he be an AJ in his own right? Sold out almost 13,000 in Texas, 12,500 in the Barclay. Can he be his own franchise? And I quote from the Golden Boy. Because Oscar, before I quote, Oscar reached out to a media outlet to give a direct response to Earl Spence saying that he doesn't want to sign with Oscar. And I quote, I have a response to him and tell him that he's wrong, said De La Hoya on Wednesday afternoon. I strongly believe that a fighter needs a promoter to guide your career. You can have a manager. You can have an advisor. He thinks Showtime is promoting him, and that's not the case. You need a promoter to move you along and eventually become a pay-per-view fighter, which he will never be without a promoter. Case in point, Oscar himself, even though he was legendary, even though he had a gold medal, he still had Bob Arum, the same guy that mapped out all the previous pay-per-view stars' careers. Floyd Mayweather, Miguel Cotto, Manny Pacquiao, Oscar De La Hoya. Bob Arum had a hand in all of those names. Bob Arum made all of those names into a pay-per-view franchise. Does Oscar have a point? And I quote, exactly. Look at my case. Was totally different because I already had a worldwide platform when I won the gold medal. So it was easier to promote me, said De La Hoya. Now, we all know De La Hoya won his gold medal in the 1992 Summer Games in Barcelona and Spain. And I further quote, but you're right. If I didn't have Arum to guide my career, who knows where I would be? Who knows where I would be if I had a manager, advisor guiding my career? I want to say that shots taken at Al Heyman. You know, he and Al Heyman are not on the best of terms. But he's saying who knows where he would have been at if he was being managed or advised, meaning you need more. Sticking to that. De La Hoya continued, and I quote, see, a promoter promotes you. A promoter has a plan, long-term plan to eventually make you a pay-per-view star. And look, there's a reason why there's one superstar in boxing, and that's Saul Canelo Alvarez. There's a reason why there's only one fighter in boxing that sells pay-per-views, and that's Canelo Alvarez. Therefore, we have that vehicle. We have that platform to showcase with the pay-per-view audience. He might be a great fighter, and I'm talking about many fighters out there, but there's reasons why you're only making a couple of $1 million and not making 10, 15, $20 million a fight. Now, obviously, Oscar can take those shots. His pay-per-view star does make 10, 15, and 20 million. So the question is, do you think Earl Spence can reach the height with Al Heyman as the advisor only, no promoter, Showtime as the network? Can he reach the height of 15, 10, $20 million per fight? Can he reach pay-per-view status? I'm your host, Nestor Gibbs. Find me on Instagram and Twitter at NestGTO. As you're jumping into the live stream, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. I'm switching it from 37 to 38. Let's go. Give us some love here. We're here early in the morning. It's TBV in the morning. We're talking Oscar De La Hoya firing back at Earl Spence Jr., saying that there's a reason you haven't made 10, 15, or 20 million, and that's because you don't have a promoter. What do you guys believe? Is Oscar right? Will Earl become what he's destined to be if he links up with a promoter? Will that be the case? I'm going to head on out to the phone lines. The call-in number is 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 time right here in the morning. Voice your opinion on the Voice of the People hotline. Remember to add Nestor Gibbs on Skype to be part of the conversation.
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
916-665. First time caller. Good morning. Who's this?
It's Kiko from Sac.
Kiko from Sacktown. What up?
Hello? What's going on, man? Just listening in this morning, man, on my way to work for the day. Yeah, I mean, I think Oscar's right, you know, by not having a promoter, but I mean, I think there's a number of reasons why Spence, I don't think he'll ever get to like that big pay-per-view star. I think there's a number of reasons too. I think for one, dude has like a really boring ass personality, you know what I mean? Like, he's a really exciting fighter, but you don't have no personality outside of it, you know what I mean? And another reason is because, shit, let's be honest, man, he's black. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't really want to see, you know, a brother like that. You know, I don't know. I don't think he really draws eyes like that. You know what I mean? He doesn't really have that look like a Sugar Ray Leonard. I mean, let's be real. You know what I mean? I'm not saying I got a problem with it, but I think the mainstream want to see that, and like really, that's how you get your money. You know what I mean? Is with like you got to have that mainstream look. You know what I mean?
Yo, but Sacktown,
you really got to be boisterous.
Sacktown, let me ask you, who looks more like Sugar Ray Leonard, Earl Spence or Terrence Crawford?
You know what? That's another one. That's another one too, right there. Because Terrence, that's a great fighter. These are both elite fighters, top fighters. You know what I mean? But also Terrence Crawford, man, he has a boring ass personality, man. He seems like a cool ass dude, but it's just he don't really pop. You know what I mean? But you got Adrian Broner. I mean, he's a good fighter. You know what I mean? But he brings eyeballs. You know what I mean? He says some wild shit. He's exciting. You know what I mean? He always comes to fight. He's never ducked anybody. Not that they do, not that they duck, but you know, he brings a lot to the table, especially this day and age. You know what I mean? You got to bring more than just being a good fighter. You know, but I guess the main thing is he's just boring outside of it. You know what I mean? And he doesn't have that look like a Canelo, for example. He's a good fighter. You know what I mean? But he has that look. You know what I mean? That pretty boy look. You know what I mean? Plus, you know, he has Mexicans behind him. You know what I mean? And you know, I don't know. That's really what it comes down to. I think. You know what I mean? But you got like somebody like AJ. You know what I mean? He got that look. You know what I mean? He got that fucking like bodybuilder look. But you know, he's appealing to like.
Wait.
Too.
Tell me
mean?
What's the difference between AJ and Earl? Because I mean, outside of 100 pounds, they look identical in terms of physique and skin complexion.
I think because I mean, at least from like shit that I've seen online, you know what I mean? He got like a big female pull, you know what I mean? That's what like a makes a big difference, you know what I mean? Just like with like Oscar Hoya when he was coming up. I mean, he was recognized in the Olympics, you know what I mean? And then he had a big female fan base, you know what I mean? Because shit, when you got your girl interested in boxing because dude looks, you know, fine to her, you know what I mean? That's the extra ticket you got to buy. That's the extra drink you got to buy. You know what I mean? So it comes down. It's a lot more than just being a great fighter. You know what I mean? There's a lot of great fighters that don't get the recognition that they should have because they only have like one or two aspects of the game. So I mean, I don't know. That's just my opinion. You know what I mean? But
good call,
he's a great
man.
fighter. I mean, he's top level. But yeah, man, that's all I gotta say, man. But you know what I mean? Keep up the good work. You know what I mean? You got a lot of fans out here, Sack. So, all right, man. Be easy.
Thank you, brother. Sacktown, stand up. Good morning to all. Good morning, everybody. TBV in the morning. We're talking De La Hoya firing back at Earl Spence Jr., saying there's a reason you ain't making 20 mil, buddy, and that's because you ain't got no promoter. So let's talk to the callers and find out, do they believe it's true?
Yes! No!
We'll see. We're going out to AJ on Skype. Talk to me. AJ, what up?
Nez. Yo, what you saying, Nez? You good?
I'm good.
Yeah, man, I'll tell you straight. Spence don't need De La Hoya for nothing, really. It's what fight that Spence has had could De La Hoya have given him 20 mil for? There's not one there, do you know what I'm saying? And realistically, if Spence picks up a couple more belts, promoters are gonna need him. He don't need them really. Easy. He can just stay and do his own little thing. You know what I'm saying? Man down promotions. That's what he needs to run with.
He actually co-promoted his last fight. Man Down Promotions co-promoted his last fight in Texas. He was letting everyone know. He said it on the Breakfast Club. But okay, if he doesn't get Oscar, right? Because listen, Oscar does have a plan, right? Oscar can say, look, if you sign with me, I'll make sure you get all the unified belts, and I'll try and get you as much money as possible for that Crawford fight. But if you win that fight, your first fight moving up to 54 or 60, I can get you Canelo. You know, he's always got to dangle the Canelo carrot. And really, is Canelo not the only guy that Earl can make 10, 15, 20 million with? I mean, think about Earl Spence versus Canelo in Texas. Anywhere in Texas.
True. But it's one of them only for now. Other people are going to pop up in the future that Spence is going to be able to make a lot of money with. He doesn't necessarily need De La Hoya. Do you know what I mean? What De La Hoya means is he can make money off Spence. You feel me? Especially with Crawford popping up and whatnot. He knows there's money to be made with Spence. Easy. But yeah, that's me done anyway. So what you say, you're working early from early, Nez?
You know it, baby. You know it, man.
Okay,
somebody told me today, somebody said, Ness, you know it's Thursday?
Work. You see me heavy work.
I said, what the hell does it matter? We're going to have a morning show and we're going to have a flagship show. It don't matter. There's enough boxing to talk. Listen, AJ, let me get out to some other callers. We're going to go out to James. Talk to me.
What's good, man? Yo, shout out to you, man. I just got out of work. I look at my phone and I see I got a notification. TBV is live. I said, oh, before I hop on the train, let me call in. I think that De La Hoya is right to the extent you need a promoter who has a superstar in his staple that will allow you to fight him. I think that this day and age,
or fight under him, right? Because like, imagine if Earl can't fight Canelo because they're two divisions apart. But what if Earl could always fight on Canelo undercards? What if he's always the main event, the co-main event?
Exactly, and that's how. I mean, if you think about it, that's how Chocolatito got so popular, right? Because I mean, he's a little guy. Only reason why I know of this guy outside of TBV is because he did so many co-main events with I think it is Canelo or one of these guys. I forget who, but he's popular because he fought under. You're serious? I'm just saying
he fought under Gennady Golovkin undercards.
I mean, yeah. Okay, now there you go. I know it's one of them, but that just speaks to my point. He's right to the extent to where you need somebody to play ball with. I mean, in terms of his skill, it cannot be denied. I mean, if you ask me, I think that the complexion thing plays a role, but this day and age, black boxers can get over that with just being themselves and putting themselves out there, like doing interviews on the Breakfast Club, where you're going to get in front of millions of eyeballs, or say hundreds of thousands of eyeballs, potentially millions of eyeballs. And then, of course, once they see you in the ring and they see that you're a knockout artist, that's always going to bring the fans. So I think it's just a matter of can you play ball with the right promotion? Because a person could say, listen, you're going to beat my guy, or it's possible you're going to beat my guy. Why should I put him in that type of danger? So I think he does have a point. I don't know what exactly was his point. I got to listen to the quote. I didn't hear the whole thing. But to the degree you need somebody to play ball with, because you're just playing by yourself, there's no competition, there's no game. So I think he has a point, but it's to a point.
Well, James, thank you for calling in. Thank you for rocking out with us in the morning. Congrats to you, man, getting off of your shift at this time. So glad we could be a part of making your morning a little better. Just to get some stats, you know, Oscar wants Earl and feels he can transcend him into a pay-per-view star. Earl did a Breakfast Club interview 1 day ago. It's yet to officially be on their YouTube longer or over than 24 hours. And it's at 191,000 views. Terrence Crawford did an interview on The Breakfast Club 2 days ago. And his is at 155, which was released first. So I don't know. Seems like there could be a star in the making.
Remember to rate us 5 stars on iTunes.
We're going out to Baltimore, 443-942. 443-942. Who's this? Good morning.
Most finest, Troy.
Troy, what's up?
Hey, good morning. Good morning.
Talk to
Good.
us, baby.
I tell you what. I'll have one question for you, and then I'll break down something else. You asked about should he stay with Heyman or go with a promoter, right?
No, not should he stay. Not should he stay. I didn't ask I didn't ask a question. First of all, what I'm doing is reading the article. Oscar De La Hoya is responding back to Earl Spence, publicly letting the world know that Top Rank, Oscar De La Hoya, and Eddie Hearn have attempted to sign him, but that he wants to remain a free agent. So Oscar fired back and said, well, that's the reason you're not making 10 million, 15 million, or 20 million. You need a promoter to guide your career. You need a promoter to give you a clear path and plan as how to become a pay-per-view star.
He is correct at this point. At this point, he is correct, because the reason why Sugar Ray even became Sugar Ray is because he had the heart of he was the darling of the Olympics. He had the hard luck story from out of Palmer Park. He had his girlfriend's picture taped to his sock or whatever have you. Then he got a lawyer who was also his manager, right? And after he made some money, he bought out all his investors, and that's how he did it, right? So he had an appeal already. And he had an audience. He had that smile. He had that skill. Basically, he was a Hollywood star outside of the ring. He could smile with you and chit chat with you and all that. In the ring, he was flashy and he was savage. So you can't really compare the two. Earl is he's a great fighter right now, and he's a great guy, but he's not Sugar Ray. Crawford, another great fighter. He has great appeal also, but neither one of them is Sugar Ray. Neither one of those fighters is Sugar Ray. Now, how does he become a $20 million fighter? I'm not in the business. I really wish I could say I had an answer, but the only thing that I could tell him is that he has to fight fights that people want to see, whether that be Crawford. I'm not even bringing up Thurman because I don't know what he's doing. Fight the winner of Garcia Porter, right? Or even get a rematch with Brooke, right? Those are fights that people want to see. So fight the fights that people want to see. That's how he built your name.
Troy. Yeah, baby, I'm here. Thank you for calling in. Great call as always. Let's head on out to the UK for Michael.
Hey, how you doing? All right?
Good morning. Well, good afternoon to you, Mike. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. I just caught on to your show just now, so just got back. So, but based on what you're saying that what's it? Oscar De La Hoya saying Spence needs to sign with him if he wants to earn the big bucks. Is that basically what the gist of it is?
Basically.
Yeah. So,
but he's not saying the big bucks. He actually gave numbers. He's saying that's why he's not making 10, 15, or 20 million. And he's also saying that Golden Boy Promotions has the vehicle. No other promoter has a universal pay-per-view star that can be seen on a premium network. And essentially, he's dangling the carrot that Earl will be able to fight on Canelo Alvarez's undercards, and gain exposure that way.
Yeah. I mean, this is the thing, with Earl Spence seems like a humble guy. He doesn't seem like he's an egomaniac or, if you're comparing it to Floyd Mayweather in regards to personality wise, he's not that kind of person. So, and if what he's earning is correct, like what was he earning? Over $3 million in his
Well,
last fight or something like that?
well, his last fight, it was 1.2 million was the contract. What was reported to the Texas Commission.
Oh, okay. So if you're basing it, I mean, obviously, I heard that sometimes when you have your show, you're saying there's back end payments and stuff like that.
Yeah. So Spence contract purse was 1.2 million, and Ocampos was 70,000. Holy shit, bro! And we talk about percentages here, bro. That has to be like 0.5%. What the fuck, yo? I'm sorry, God. I apologize, but damn. I mean, look, I would be dope. I would be fucking ecstatic if I could get paid 70K in one night for anything that I did. But holy shit, man, that's a lopsided purse right there.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, for sure. I mean, with Spence, I mean, it depends on what he wants to be in his career. I mean, if in regards to what you want to do, if he wants to be one of the biggest stars in boxing and one of the big stars, then you look at who's the biggest stars right now, Canelo and AJ, and both of them are with promoters. So if you're going based on that, then it shows that if you're with a promoter, then the biggest stars have got promoters. And who are the top fighters at the moment? You got Mikey Garcia, who's very good. L. Spence is very good, but they don't have promoters, and they're nowhere near where. Do you know what I mean? So if you're going based on, you have to be a promoter to get big, the proof shows of the pudding at the present time. I don't know how it was previously in the past, but that's how it looks. So, but if Spence hasn't got that ambition to do that, if he's happy to collect 1.2 million or 2 million per fight without a promoter, then so be it. But based on history, based on what currently who in the market is the top, then you have to be a promoter if you want to be the big superstar getting the big 20 million, 10 million pound checks per fight.
Well, Michael, you make a good case, and that's why I let you punch a few punches after the bell. But my counter argument to you and everyone that listened would be Mayweather did it without a promoter. Now, we can get technical and literal to the T and understand that he started his career with a promoter, but after he navigated the biggest fights, the biggest contracts, and became the highest paid athlete because, he was alone. So I'm being told that Spence total check after sanctioning fees was 1.1. Damn, sanctioning fees was what? They taking some change. What do we got? 832 593 832-593. No.
What's good?
What's up, bro?
Ain't nothing else, bro. Look, Ness, bro, tell me this, bro. What kind of promoter do for Spence that he not doing for himself already? Al Hammond got all the fighters.
I don't know, man.
Let me back that up.
That's
you understand?
Right. Shout out to my truck drivers.
My truck drivers out here. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, and that's what I mean. Al Hammond got all the fighters he needs to put himself at the top of the division he is. Because that's a division with the most names in it. You know what I'm saying? So if he, like I said, if he unified the welterweight division, but not only unifying that, but he got to do it in dramatic fashion. Like I was telling you a couple of months ago, Keith Thurman had a perfect opportunity. If he would have stopped Daniel and he would have stopped Sean Porter, it wouldn't be no question. Earl went overseas. He stopped Brooks. If he can stop the win out of Porter Garcia, then he can stop Thurman, and he fight Terrence Crawford. He don't necessarily have to stop Crawford. If he do, that would be a plus. But if he get all them fights, unify the division, and he stop him, then he a bona fide superstar, man. Ain't nobody can tell me different about that. And I don't see what no promoter can do for him. You know what I'm saying? Who do De La Hoya have? Nobody, except for Canelo. And when that fight gonna happen? That's a setup, man. If he signed that contract with De La Hoya, he probably won't get that Canelo fight until 2020 or something like that. Come on, man. That's a time.
But 2020, Yo, I'll sign for a 2020 Canelo fight. I'll sign.
But that's still not a guarantee, man.
Bro, that's
still
next
not a
year.
guarantee.
That's like next year almost. We almost done with 2018.
Man,
We halfway
that's
through.
like 2 years, man. That's like a year and a half. That's like a year and a half from now.
All right, a year and a half. And right now you only making $1 million. So if I could still make you $1 million or more,
All right.
hold up.
Now listen to the game plan I just laid out. You the undisputed champ at 147. Anybody that come through 147 that come see you. Even if they're passing through, they gotta call you up and let you know what the fuck they doing. Off top. You can't do nothing unless you call
Crawford
me.
ain't calling him.
Now, you
Crawford ain't calling him.
Making $1 million?
Crawford ain't calling him.
Crawford gonna have to call him. If he get the WBC
Thurman ain't
and
calling
the WBA,
him.
Crawford gonna have to.
I don't see Crawford calling him. I don't see Thurman calling him. I don't see Daniel Porter calling him. Like, I don't see these fights y'all talking about now. Yes, he is from New Orleans. Now, if you're saying, oh, we're seeing these fights lined up, but no, we not. We seeing Ocampos. We seeing Lamont Peterson. We're hearing Jesse Vargas. We're hearing Urdani Ulgas. We're hearing Mikey 135 Garcia. You know what I mean? Think about it. Real quick, we shooting it down, and I get it. I'm shooting it down too. I'm not pushing a promoter. I'm not. All I'm doing is saying, open your mind, though. Open your mind. If you're getting 1.1, 1.2 mil to fight Ocampos, how much is he going to get to fight Ulgas? How much is he going to get to fight Jesse? You know what I'm saying? How sure are you that if Danny Garcia beats Porter, he wants to fight Earl his next fight? Like, when does Earl get that fight? When does he get the Keith fight? He's still been waiting for the Keith fight. Like, I don't know. I'm not saying Oscar hasn't said anything. Oscar hasn't said what he could offer other than put him on Canelo undercards. That's it. But going based off NO, our resident caller, going off of his call and saying, yo, what he could offer Canelo in 2020, oh, I'll take that. If I'm Earl, I will take that. All you got to say is, look, I want to fight 3 times a year, and Al, Al's already getting me 1.2. And Al's an advisor and a manager or whatever. He don't even got to get rid of Al. But now all he got to do is tell Oscar, you want me to sign? Cool. But I got to make more money than what I was already making. And since you ain't got the sexy fighters, I want to get paid right. So now Earl goes over there and fights a couple fucking Munguias, Saddam Ali's, until 2020, where he gets his big $10, $15 million fight. Now, the thing is, in 2020, is Spence as popular and in high demand as he is right now? Right now, he's kind of mixing it up with the people you want. Right now, he's kind of in that world where you think he could get those fights. Now, if Earl leaves and he's fighting a bunch of nobodies until he fights Canelo, will Earl still have the same luster? Remember to hit that thumbs up button on your way in. This is a spontaneous stream. Today's Thursday, flagship Thursday. We will be back this afternoon. This is TBV in the morning. Stand up. We're going out to the 412-992. 412-992.
Hey, what up, man?
What's going on, brother?
Hey, not much, man. I just think Oscar needs to shut up and mind his business. You know what I mean?
What's your name, brother?
He talks. It's Jeremy.
Jeremy, what's going on? All right. I mean, yeah, I hear you, brother. Oscar's a promoter. It's no different than a car salesman. You know what I mean? He's buying and selling cars. He's trying to buy a new car.
Yeah, it's just that it's hard for him. It's hard for me to take his word seriously when he only has one attraction. And he has a pretty large stable. So I feel like, why not put that energy and effort into one of his other fighters? Or why not make them a household name and that way it actually looks like, you know, you have more to offer, because Canelo, being a redheaded Mexican with the huge Mexican following, I think, man, anybody could have promoted him and he would have been as successful as he is right now. Everybody doesn't have the luxury of being a redheaded Mexican. You know what I mean? And so I think Spence, he already pretty much has a mega fight on the horizon, maybe a year to a year and a half out. And prior to that, he has a lot of good boxers.
But that's the thing. That's the
already,
thing right there.
You know,
that's the thing right there, Jeremy. You ask yourself now, Crawford versus Spence. What's Spence check? You said a year and a half from now he's got a mega fight, so you got to be talking about Crawford, right?
It could be Crawford or it could be Thurman.
Okay.
It could be Garcia. I think it could be any of them, man. Any one of them could rise. Depending on how they mix it up and fight.
Listen, I'm going to get inside your card. Don't worry about it. Spence versus anybody is a super fight. How much money he making?
No, but listen, y'all talking about the 1.2 million and whatever he just made, but you know it's been documented that Heyman gives them checks after they fight.
Listen, Jeremy,
he probably done got him a $2 million check.
And that's good. And that's good. But we can't report that. What we could report is that initial check. So for these super fights that you're saying, how much you think he get in the fight, Keith, Danny, and Porter? Or Keith, Danny, and Crawford?
Oh shit. I'm not sure what he get for. I think like as far as like the Garcia, I think it has to be like 2 fights. You know what I mean? Like he fights Garcia and then he has that mega unification fight with Thurman or something. I could see him getting like a $4 or $5 million payday from that.
All right.
You know what I mean?
But that's
Oscar's
point.
Listen though, you got but what about with Hearn saying how promotable Jacobs was and how easy he's like the easiest fighter to promote, and he hasn't done nothing for him since. And Jacobs actually been fighting PBC level fights still.
You're right. Listen, punching after the bell, but Hearns was at least in negotiation with a Canelo fight for his fighter, Daniel Jacobs. So we can't really rip Hearns apart. We also know that there was a bigger fight than Jacobs Canelo out there, and that's Jacobs. That's Canelo Gennady. So it was still quite fascinating to see that Jacobs was at least being mentioned. Now, all those fights that you talk about, Crawford, Danny, Thurman, Porter. First of all, you're the only boxing fan that believes Danny, Porter, or Thurman at this point are super mega fights with Earl Spence. The rest of the public believes that Crawford is the super fight. So again, if he's only making $5 million for Crawford, Oscar is saying there is a reason you aren't making 10, 15, $20 million. That's what Oscar's saying. Let's head on out to the 267-445, City of Brotherly Love. What's going on? Who's this?
Yeah, I wanted to talk about
what's your name, brother?
Saying I think he's half right. Say it again.
Your name?
Ra.
What's up, brother? Talk to us.
Yeah, I think Oscar's half right, but he's not telling the full truth. In a way, he is dangling, like you said, that carrot of a possible Canelo fight out there. Because the truth is, even though the fight with Terrence Crawford to us and maybe a little bit more of the rest of the public who isn't the casual fans, maybe it is a super fight, but it's not going to make him that $10 to $20 million fight. I mean, when's the last time 2 American fighters on a pay-per-view have made that kind of money? You need an international counterpart. So I think he is dangling that carrot of if you want to make this amount of money, you got to sign with a promoter who's going to put you on pay-per-view. You're going to have an international counterpart to make that kind of money. But I don't think Earl's pressed to do that though, and that's his prerogative if he want to go out and make all that kind of money, or if he just want to set his career in stone. Because he's knocking all these welterweights out. Nobody's calling him out. So It's up to him how he wants his career to go. But Oscar's half right. He needs an international counterpart if he wants to.
I think Oscar could make him a star. I think Oscar could make him a star by December. Let me see. Let me just look something up real quick, right? When's Jamie Munguia's next fight? No help, huh? I'll find it.
Isn't it the July?
I'll find it. Oh man, if it's July, it's perfect. Oh, it's not scheduled. They don't have anything there on BoxRec. What the fuck? I could have sworn they just announced the Jamie Munguia fight.
It's like July 21st or something like that, right?
Yeah, I could have sworn they just announced something on him headlining too for a Golden Boy fight. Okay, there it is. HBO planning July 21st, Jamie Munguia versus Liam Smith, triple header, and Liam Smith is the mandatory for Jamie Munguia. Now, if Earl signed today, he could have a title shot versus Jamie in Texas by December and be a 2-divisional champion consecutively. And because you got a promoter, then you get a rematch. Then you give Saddam Ali an opportunity back at that title. The casual fans already think he's at 54. Believe me, yo, you could do it. You could turn. Imagine Earl being an IBF 147-pound champ and a WBO 154-pound champ at the same time. At the same time. How else can you get popular? What could those other welterweights do that would put that type of shine on them? You know? And again, if you're Oscar, you could get him a Saddam Ali first defense of that WBO. Easy. You know? And then you come back at 147 and you fight Jesse Vargas instead of Ulgas, right? You fight Jesse, but on HBO. Earl has yet to do 1 million viewers. He ain't done it yet. Now, if you want to talk about after the Olympics, yeah, he's done 6. But he ain't done it yet. And we got the numbers on his last Ocampos fight. And it ain't that. But if he fights on HBO, fuck, even Sergey Kovalev fighting anybody is getting 1 million on HBO. HBO is known for boxing. And again, I'm not pushing Oscar's idea here. I'm opening up our minds. Earl wants to fight 3 times a year. Oscar, like you guys said, he doesn't really have any stars out there. He's dangling this Canelo. Maybe he could focus on Earl. Somebody else said, why is Oscar not focusing his attention on his own stable? He's got plenty of guys. He needs to show us he can do this. Well, I'll tell you one thing. I think he showed us he can do it with Ryan Garcia. How the fuck do we know Ryan Garcia then? But, you know, it can't be just the promoter. You got to have some talent, and Earl has that. Earl has the talent that put on the right platform can attract some real serious eyeballs. 409-828. 409-828. First-time caller. Good morning. Who's this?
Nah, it's JD, man. Real quick, I'll be real brief, right? This reminds me, a good analogy, right? This reminds me of a guy trying to holler at a girl. The girl, you know, turns you down politely. And then you come back like, I could have gave you the world, girl. I could have showed you, you know what I mean? Like, it's no different from
but that doesn't mean that the guy is lying.
Here, like,
that doesn't mean that the guy is lying. That just shows that, you know, he's a bit of a brown noser, but that doesn't mean that he's lying.
Selling dreams. He's selling dreams.
All right, so
like,
look,
what
so let's
can you
talk
do
about my
for-
dream. Let's talk about my dream. If I'm Oscar, I could give Earl Spence, Jamie Munguia in Texas, anywhere he wants in Texas. Okay, and if you're Earl, you know I put Canelo in Texas, and he's gotten over 20,000, over 33,000, and over 50,000 tickets.
Let's talk realistically.
No, that is realistic. So you telling me Earl can't beat up Jamie Munguia at 54 and snatch another belt in December?
No, this is what I'm saying. You talking about in the future, like you talking about maybe 3 years down the line. I'm talking about what he gotta conquer 147. That's what his mindset at.
But what you mean
You
3
trying to
years
tell
down the
him-
line?
You
What you
trying to
mean?
tell him the Gucci first when all he wanted?
What you mean 3 years
You
down
say
the
what?
line?
Are you talking about 154 fighters?
Why do Spence got?
He's not worried about 154 right now.
Okay, but listen. People are saying Oscar can't make him a star. Won't you become a star faster if you're simultaneously a 2-divisional champion? If you're holding the IBF at 47, if you're holding the IBF at 47 and you're holding the WBO at 54, how many writers got to write about you? How many podcasters got to talk about you? How many sports centers fucking anchors got to discuss you in topic, brother? That's my opinion.
Listen, you become a star by attaching yourself or doing exactly what he's doing. You just said it. Look how many views he did on the Breakfast Club. He's becoming a star already.
But he ain't doing views on the ring.
for him?
He ain't doing views in the ring. He ain't bust $1 million yet. He a 700 baby. He ain't bust $1 million yet. How many more fights do we need?
Who busting $1 million right now?
Adrian, I retire every week, Broner. Deontay Bomb Squad, fucking Brahma. You need more? You need more? Do you need more?
Wait. Let me rebuttal real quick.
Oh,
let's see what he do.
You punching after the bell.
After he attached himself. After he attached himself to the Cowboys, let's see what his next fight do. I'll just leave it at that.
Whatever. Adrian Brown ain't attached to no Cowboys. He attached to a couple losses on his fucking record. He's still busting a mill easy with Granados. Come on. We better wake up. Look, I'm not saying Spence needs to sign, but we can't be acting like he gonna get it done fighting Lamont and and fighting Lamont and Ocampos. He ain't gonna get it done like that. He ain't gonna be the next Floyd like that. He ain't gonna get 32 million guarantee. He ain't getting it. 202-277. 202-277. First time caller. Who's this?
Come on, that ain't no first time caller. It's Marcus from DC. I can tell you ain't got no producer this morning, but it's all good. That's what the green to do to you, man. Keep the gas in the air. But yo, check it out. Oscar 100% right though, because they're two different tracks of careers. The career we heard earlier, maybe a year or two ago, when we were talking about Keith Thurman said he didn't want to be a pay-per-view star, right? He was okay with appearing on national television, making $2 million, whatever other endorsements he getting, that was a fine life for him. And to be honest with you, that is the model for the fighters who have committed to being on TV through PBC. However, a promoter has a different monetary model. And the monetary model of a promoter is to get fighters that they can get to the point that they can fight the preeminent pay-per-view star and transfer that following to the next person that they didn't have under contract. That's the promoter's path and how they do it. Now, I'm not talking about the promoters who subscribe to will promote every, deal by deal, whoever Al Heyman says they want to promote each one. But the prototypical promoter pathway is to get their client to being a pay-per-view star. So he's 100% correct in that. However, the problem with that has been that contractually, when there are some fights that the fans have clamored for, when those alliances didn't exist, the fights didn't happen because they may have had opposing promoters. But Oscar's 100% correct. The pay-per-view model is always the pay-per-view promoter pathway, dedicated promoter pathway, has always been a more lucrative path if you are a talented and skilled fighter.
So, Marcus, I'm getting a lot of comments in the chat saying Ness is crazy, Ness is stupid, all this mean, hurtful stuff. So I'm gonna ask you. You heard my analogy over and over now. Can you lay out a better path, a better year-and-a-half plan for Earl than
90 seconds.
A better year-and-a-half plan than my alleged Oscar plan? Now, thus far, I only got one fight for Earl, and that's in December. I won't give away my next fight. You just got to give me a better fight. As Al Heyman, if Oscar's saying, yo, I got Jamie Munguia in December, anywhere in Texas. You headline. You're the A side. You're going for his title. Now you could be simultaneously a champion in 2 divisions. Is that not a big enough power move to get him a step closer to superstardom?
Get him a step closer to superstardom. No, I don't think that does superstardom. I think we saw when Mikey held 2 titles. I don't even know what Mikey's numbers are, but Mikey's numbers are really based on the fact of who he's fought.
Hold on. First of all, Mikey don't do a mill. Secondly, Mikey was a
No. That's what I'm saying.
No, hold on. Mikey was a 2 divisional champion. He was the 2 divisional champion in the division. It don't matter if you're a champion at 47.
Right. No, I understand.
That's a little different than
no.
Mikey.
I don't think it has as much relevance as this is what I'm about to tell you right here. The reason why Spider-Man in the movie theaters has sold more than Superman is because of the villain. That's
10 seconds.
Yes. But Superman had never had that villain that made you think he was in ever any peril. Nobody believes that Lex Luthor can fuck Superman up. But Venom, the Lizard, Green Goblin, all these people you really feel like, man, they'll fuck Spider-Man up. The way to become a star is to fight a star. You have to fight another star and defeat them in a all-out high noon.
So you telling me moving up while you're...
I haven't seen it happen any other way. Show me another way where it's happened where somebody had just fought nominal to decent opponents that became a superstar.
All right. No. So listen, I'm giving him Jamie Munguia on Friday. I mean on December. A title shot, right? On HBO in Texas, main event, you headline. What are you offering as Al Heyman? What are you offering Earl in December?
Oh, I fuck around. If that's what I got to do to compete, I'm going to Jamel Charlo and say, hey man, y'all got to split camp. I need y'all to fight.
Nah, that ain't happening. You see? You know that ain't happening. That's
no,
not
but I'm saying is that's the only way. What I'm saying is Earl has to start fighting other stars to become a star. Earl has to dominate the 147 and say, Floyd, man, I'm the only reason why you should come out.
Marcus, I chose to give you more time because I felt you could get this debate done. I felt you could get this done. Now you telling me who is Earl gonna fight in December? We talking real. Listen, we talking real. This ain't hypothetical. We know Oscar could get him Jamie. So now what could Al realistically get him in December that's better than Jamie? He can't get him shit. He can't get him shit.
He can't. And if you notice maybe 4 shows ago when I had said, when we were talking about whether it was an easier path to take Vargas or Crawford or whatever, it was because the other welterweights are locked up. They're locked up. That has something to do with this time with a little bit not a forethought from Al, because I think Al is kind of like letting his 47 fighters come to see who's really the cream of the crop. I think now within their camp, within their management, I think they're starting to understand that Earl Spence appears to be that guy for them, more than Porter, more than Thurman possibly, more than Danny Garcia. And I think now that it's time for them to start shifting the paradigm. The problem is that they got all these other welterweights locked up. So to answer your question, no, Al doesn't have anybody for him in December versus what Oscar could offer him Munguia in Texas. We both know that's not correct. But what about the spring?
You ready? You ready for how you make Earl a star and you sign him to Oscar? Here goes my second fight. Now we talking about 219, right? We talking about 2019 now. All right. You still ain't do better.
Now, mind you, I'm agreeing with you that Oscar. Now, mind you, I'm agreeing with you that Oscar. That what Oscar made the statement will make him more of a star because he still always has Canelo.
Oh my God.
So I do agree with that premise.
Oh my God. Oh no, there's no one. Is there anyone? If Canelo beats Triple G in September, who could Canelo fight at 160? Oh, we'll give him Gabe Rosado. Real easy. We'll do it real easy. We'll do Mexico versus Puerto Rico, Gabe Rosado in Texas in December, Jamie Munguia, Earl Spence on the undercard. It's a pay-per-view.
Absolutely.
It's a pay-per-view. Okay.
Yeah,
so now
I agree with you. He can make him a star that way. He definitely can.
Wait. Here, it gets better. Here's my second one. Okay, here's my second fight. For all you guys know, Ness, he said he wants to keep his 147. He wants to be undisputed. He wants to unify. He gets to fight Lucas fucking Matisse in March or April as a main
At 47.
event.
That was the next thing I was going to say.
47 for
That was the next one I was going to say.
47 for the WBA.
That would be ideal. That was the first thing I was going to say. The only concern I have,
Marcus,
only one
wait,
concern.
I'm not done. I'm about to fucking have a boxing orgasm. Right. I'm not done. In September now, guess who he faces? You know who he faces.
Who's that next?
You know who he faces in September. You know who he faces.
I already know. Is it perhaps Mexican Independence Day weekend? Perhaps.
Absolutely.
Of course, he has the ability to do it.
Oscar
of course
got
he
a
has
plan.
My only concern with your analogy. My only concern with the analogy is one thing. I'm concerned about fighters that go up to 54 unless he just doesn't do it with the idea of changing his body and then coming back to 47. But everything else, I agree with you, man. That would make Earl superiorly better of a star than the ones that he's around now. He's in the same management.
He coming back to 47,
on Showtime.
But look, he coming back to 47 to fight Lucas Broken Matisse. He coming back to fight him.
Yeah, no, of course.
Like, he's gonna be a star. He
no,
probably won't even
but
have
you
to
know
look
what I'm
at
saying?
47.
If you don't change your body though, so what I'm saying is there's two ways to make weight. You can make weight where you change your body to where it remains a certain weight and or a weight structure moving forward, and then there's times that you just don't cut weight as much to make the other weight. And when you do it the second way I just said, it doesn't prevent you from being in the way that you do when you normally make weight. You know what I'm saying? Sort of like having a 155-pound fight and you want 54. It's like it doesn't change you from the ability to make 54 as if you're doing like Kell Brook did, which he tried to change his body when he fought Triple G, and then when he went back down to 147, I don't think it's his best weight for him anymore. Does that make sense?
Nah, definitely. I just think it's different
so that's my only concern with that idea, but I think that's a perfect idea. I think it's a perfect idea.
Yeah, man.
I think that's a perfect idea. And like I said in the beginning, Oscar can make him a star because Oscar holds one of the few chips that no other promoter really has. Oscar has a definitive pay-per-view star in his stable that looks for big fights and big challenges, and regardless of the outcome of the Triple G fight, it would still sell over 1 million pay-per-views with Canelo and Errol Spence in Texas on Mexican Independence Day weekend. That shit might go 2 mil. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
Well, Marcus,
that shit might go 2 mil.
Thanks for calling in, brother. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. So that's what I'm gonna outro with. My final thoughts is if Oscar takes my plan and gives me my percentage, then he will create a superstar. I would like to see you rebuttal my plan for Earl Spence. If he signed today with Oscar, I say in December, he would be on a Canelo pay-per-view undercard or a HBO main event where he's taking on Jamie Munguia for the WBO 54-pound title, whether on a Canelo co-main event pay-per-view or as a main event in December. Next fight, March, April, or even Cinco de Mayo, undercard again versus Lucas Matisse, unification at 47. Now you got two 47-pound belts, and you're still the 54-pound champion. Because you're the 54-pound champion, and because you start camp at 177, you take the fight that no one's going to be mad if you lose. You face Canelo at 160 in September. That's how Oscar makes you a star in under a year and a half. Plus gets you that 10, 15, $20 million payday. That's just my idea. I don't know. You can rebut it in the comment section. I am your host, Nestor Gibbs. Find me on Instagram and Twitter at NestGTO. Peace.